So I started to explore a bit more last night. Jason has subscribed to different ones that I haven't seen, like channels. I'm going to actually post one today as a featured one, and that's Dissident. He does excellent videos. Apparently he's been watching my videos for a while on my channel. I didn't know he did videos. See, this is what you discover when you actually do a little bit of research. I really don't investigate too much of what other saints are actually listening to. So it's good to have that information. I thank Jason for that, because we get some more truth, and we get to actually see that there are other believers out there putting out videos. That's why I have that list, and I'm going to actually feature his Dissident Saint for sure, because he's excellent. He's our brother. He does videos. He puts up straight up truth on his videos. He doesn't pussyfoot around. He tells it like it is. So I love that. And he doesn't ascribe to any kind of religious system either. So that's wonderful. Okay. His glorious riches, a breakdown of Ephesians. Understand that our riches are in Ephesians. That is where a lot of the secret is in the book of Ephesians, Philippians, and Colossians, those prison epistles. So we want to emphasize that. And that's what I'm emphasizing for the body of Christ. Unbelievers wouldn't get it. So this is why we're out there doing videos. We share with each other. And it's like Norman said, one big family of faith, like brothers and sisters together. We lift each other up. Even though we're distant in the world, does not mean anything. We're together in spirit. Martin is the number one, of course, because God has placed him there in his position that he's in, sharing and exposing the religious systems for what they are. So I thank God for him, because without him, I wouldn't have even had this channel to begin with. So I'm thankful for it. We're here to build each other up. And it's amazing, because you see like all these believers doing videos and sharing truth. It's great. Each one of us has our own unique style of bringing it across, and our own calling. I would call it our own calling as far as sharing truth is concerned. I do a lot of reading, and I'm thankful for that, because I share and teach myself along with you that I'm sharing with. I teach myself. This is important. This is my daily thing. It's a feeding of the truth for myself, and learning and growing as well, and growing in the faith to a mature man. And that's what's happening with all of us. In the man within, there's where the riches are. God starts with the man within and changes us from inward to the outward. Our outward appearance now is nothing to be looked at and marveled at, to say the least. But our inward man is what's important, and that's where the riches are, in our hearts toward God. So we store that up among the celestials. That's where our allotment is. So, his glorious riches. No epistle in the scriptures is so full of harmonies as Ephesians. There's a continual assurance that each phase of our blessing is in accord with all of the rest. Our sonship suits the delight of his will. Ephesians 1:5. The quote-unquote forgiveness of our offenses is raised on the scale to harmonize with the riches of his grace. Ephesians 1:7. The secret of his will is consonant with his delight. Ephesians 1:9. Our predesignation, in here it says predestination. I don't like that word. Predesignation, being chosen before the disruption of the world, is in unison with his purpose. Ephesians 1:11. We all know that one. It's all in accord with the counsel of his will. Paul's dispensation agrees with God's grace, which in its turn is attuned to his powerful operation. Ephesians 3:7. The insight of the celestials is in line with the purpose of the eons. Ephesians 3:11. So now power is desired, such as will harmonize with his glorious riches. Ephesians 3:16. Paul prays for a power which will accord with the wealth of glory, which has become ours through this new revelation. God's riches are glorious. In these days, riches have increased. So Enoch wrote this back, I don't know when, but look at the world today. The amassed wealth among companies and CEOs, especially now, they're making a killing off this VC and shit like that. So they're billionaires and trillionaires in the world. But they have nothing within, is what I'm saying. Our riches are within the heart of God. So it's toward God. I love being poor because poor in this world and low in this world is great as a believer. Keep yourself in that level where we can live a mild and quiet life in all devoutness and gravity in that purpose toward God. So our riches are stored in the treasure trove of God's celestial realm. Amazing. There are many men of vast wealth and fortunes have been amassed, which are amazing in the world. Great as is their material magnificence, they are sadly lacking in divine glory. Much of our unrighteousness and crime is connected with money. It occasions far more misery than it alleviates. In general, riches are a menace to society. Yet all will acknowledge that wealth has power. It is fast becoming the paramount force in human affairs, especially today. It overrides social prestige and political influence, which we could not accomplish with an unlimited command of means. See, they amass the wealth and they think they're untouchable. Yet one thing cannot be bought by all the wealth of all the world. That is love. God's wealth alone has the divine glory that influences the affections. Outwardly, we may be as weak as Timothy, with his frequent infirmities. We may be clothed in rags and live in the meanest of shelters. There may be nothing to indicate that we are rolling in the real riches. This wealth is not for the outer man at present. It is spiritual and for the spirit. It is for the man within, like I said. Men behold the external appearance. God looks on the heart. Through his spirit, our hearts become the habitation of Christ. This is the ground of our strength. The meanest human heart, indwelt by Christ, has a glory that surpasses the temple of Solomon. All its moral values are living in him. Wow. And you think about our Apostle Paul, one of the meanest. He was arrested on the road to Damascus. The glorified Christ arrested him, knocked him off his horse. And he was one of the meanest, if not the meanest of his day. He calls himself the chief among sinners in his day. So, wow. God can change the meanest heart into the most loving toward him and Christ. So as believers, we stick together. So check out Dissident Saint. I love you all. Have a beautiful weekend, excellent Friday, and grace and peace.